Hello. It's 11:30 in the a.m. and I had to send Madison in to get the baby's bottle because we're going to run into some errands on Father's Day. Get in, baby, get in. And I forgot it upstairs, so we're getting on the road now. Brian's inside chilling out. This is what I had for breakfast. And this is what I had for, I guess, morning snack. Because I made these cinnamon rolls for Brian for Father's Day. He loves cinnamon rolls, so he had two, and we all each had one. And surprisingly, they're only 140 calories a piece. Yes, lots of sugar, not good for you, but 140 calories isn't too bad. It's very yummy. We're going to be right over there by Taco Bell again, so I'm going to try my best not to get a chicken burrito. We're going to the Dollar Tree so the girls can get Brian a couple little Father's Day gifts with their allowance. And, well, the money they've earned through good behavior. And then we have to get gas. And I have to go to the commissary to get paper towels because we're almost out, toilet paper because we're almost out, and overnight diapers for the baby because I have a high value coupon that's expiring in 3 days. And she needs the overnight diapers anyway, so that's the plan. Hello. I'm sorry I really didn't record anything today. It was Father's Day and it was kind of a crazy day, and now it's very late and I'm very tired, so I'm just going to wrap up with you. I recorded a little bit earlier that you just saw, and I don't remember what I said there, but I will tell you that I was on my calories today. I will also tell you that I got to mark off the 197 on my weight checklist, because I was 196.2 today. Can you believe it? Down almost a pound from yesterday. With the dinner and everything that I had last night, I could not believe it. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Like I said, sometimes it can trick you. Also, I did the plank challenge today. 2.5 minutes. I kind of like had to touch down for half a second at the very end, like last 20 seconds, it was somewhere in there, so it wasn't like terrific form the whole time, but man, whew, I really pushed myself, man. My mom is doing it with me. She's not starting 2.5 until tomorrow, and tomorrow's my rest day. And if anybody else out there is doing it, please let me know. I would really love for you guys to be experiencing some of this stuff with me that I'm doing. You know, that would just make me feel so awesome, and I know that it would be good for you to have me doing stuff with you and you do stuff with me, and we could really motivate each other, and you know, that could be really cool. So let me know if you are doing it or if you're planning on doing it, please. Wow, I don't know, again, if it's, because I did not take my progesterone last night because I'm not supposed to take it. Only a certain amount of days in my cycle. And I didn't take it last night, and sure enough, I did not sleep well. But also, I woke up a little later yesterday than I usually do, so again, I don't know if that totally threw me off. But yeah, I did not sleep well. And then today, again, irritability, moodiness, anger, especially one big blow up I had after taking the kids to the Dollar Tree, and then we had to go to the commissary. I don't know, like I told you guys before, my mind can kind of blow some things out of proportion, and my anxiety doesn't necessarily come from worry. When I do have anxiety, it's mostly just, I guess it is that kind of worry, but it's not like sitting here worrying like that something bad necessarily is going to happen to me, like fearful worry. It's more like stressed out, overwhelmed, like stress, anxiety. I don't know how really to describe it, but like I'll just be with all the kids and we'll be driving, like I'm just playing in my mind like how stressful this is going to be, like that negative thinking, you know. And but everything was okay for a little while. The baby started getting a little fussy in the Dollar Tree, and but she wouldn't drink her milk. It was about time for her to eat. And then again she was fussy in the commissary, and then a little fussy in the van. I'm not used to taking them all three out. That like never happens. So, you know, when you're not used to things and, you know, your baby's upset, it's like, I don't know, it just made me upset. So I came home and, you know, I kind of took it out on Brian, and I took it out on the kids, and I yelled, and I said shut up, and I shouldn't have said that, and I had an anger blowout. So my words of wisdom tonight are about anger, because that is definitely something I need to work on. I wouldn't say that I'm an all-over angry person, but I've talked to you guys about it before, about it all goes hand in hand. It's the anxiety and the negative thinking and the stress that kind of builds, and then, you know, you add in more negative thinking and mood swings, and then you get irritability, and then I lose my temper, and then I get angry, and then I blow up, and then it kind of dissipates. And that can be anywhere from like a little bit throughout a day, or it can maybe be like a big blowout once a week. It's not like I'm a yelling maniac all day long every day or anything, but, you know, I do lose my temper, you know, probably at least a couple times a week, and I definitely want to have a better hold on that. So, like I said, I still don't know exactly what's going on, you know. I mean, might just be me. Might be a mental problem, you know. Obviously, I've been diagnosed with anxiety disorder and depression in the past. Wasn't necessarily tied to hormones. So although this is kind of the road I'm on right now, it doesn't mean that everything that's happening has hormones to blame. So I don't know. It might just be that I need to change the way I'm thinking. I need to make conscious efforts to control my thinking and my mouth. But I'm looking back, I track all my symptoms of whatever on on an app called OvuView, OVUVIEW, if that's how you spell view. Because, you know, I wanted to keep track of how I was doing on the birth control pill before and everything like that. Like if there were certain times of the month where I was having insomnia, you know, was that a dip in this hormone or that, blah, blah, blah. I had some anxiety last week, but I have not really charted any irritability since the 6th, which was, you know, about a week and a half ago. No, scratch that. I did track one last week. So, like I said, about once a week I'm having some irritability. Except for when it's a bad week, you know, I can have like 3 or 4 I have on here. But in the past few weeks since I've started this patch, I've only had about 1 per week tracked symptoms of irritability. So overall, things have been going pretty well, but you know, that needs to change. I don't want to have it even that often. Anyway, let me get to it. Before I do, I just wanted to tell you what I had to eat today. I think I took a picture of everything that I ate. And here is my lunch. And I did not have any afternoon snack again. You know, you get busy between breakfast or lunch and dinner and it's like, boom. And here is my very large dinner. Very yummy, delicious. Homemade chicken fettuccine alfredo with spinach and a piece of garlic toast. And then I had my ice cream cone. And I think I'm like 30 calories over because I was actually perfectly on before I added the spinach, and then I added like 30 calories worth of spinach. So no big thing. As far as exercise goes for the week, I'm not thinking about that right now because of the papers and everything. I got one done and submitted, and I got the other one about halfway done. And I got to see my syllabus and everything for my coming up class that starts on Wednesday, and it is, what's the name of it? Something about decision making. So it's about critical thinking and decision making and all that kinds of stuff. So it seems like kind of interesting, and it doesn't have a traditional textbook, but it has a whole bunch of other kind of lecture notes and everything. But overall, it didn't actually look as intensive as this class that I have been doing, so hopefully the workload will be a little bit less, and that will lessen some of my stress. I have an appointment tomorrow, and that's about it. Alright, so because of the way that I'm feeling with this built-up anger that I had today, I really couldn't pick one anger quote that really hit home. So these three, I think, well, four, actually, you know, really said something to me. So I really want to not just read these and think about these right now. These are, you know, a few quotes that I really need to be kind of meditating on in the near future. So I can't see, so let me put my glasses on. So Evan S.R. said, "Anger is a feeling that makes your mouth work faster than your mind." Ain't that the truth? Because dang, do I say some things I regret when I'm angry. And you get so angry, like you just don't care. You just... And Lawrence Douglas Wilder said, "Anger doesn't solve anything, it builds nothing, but it can destroy everything." Then we're on to one by Pope John Paul II. "It is better to cry than to be angry, because anger hurts others while tears flow silently through the soul and cleanses the heart." I have found that, have you ever like had a huge anger blow up and then taken a second and then you cry? That's happened to me. Didn't happen to me today, but I have definitely been, I wouldn't say weepy, but I remember talking to you about it a few weeks back, about how I'm like just right there on the verge of tears. I watch a freaking commercial about who knows what little kid or whatever, and it's like, I'm like almost crying. I don't know what that's about. And lastly, who said this one? Lisa Prosen. "No matter how justified I was in my anger, it never actually changed anything." going to read that part again because this is speaking to me. No matter how justified I was in my anger, it never actually changed anything. This is why I must let it go. Not because I think it is okay, but because I love myself too much to keep holding on to it. I have definitely felt that way before. And I have been able to let go of anger that was eating me inside, like that kind of pervasive kind of. And I don't feel like that's what I'm feeling right now. Not that that's not going to be helpful to me. But this is just kind of a buildup of stress and irritability and aggravation, agitation, and then trigger, you know? But nothing's going to change unless you acknowledge it and you put effort into changing it, right? So with that, I will say goodnight, and you all will see me tomorrow. Good night.